Morning, folks, and thank you very much for tuning in. It's a Saturday morning here in Phang in Thailand, and might I share with you, it's a fairly wet Saturday morning here in Phang. I think this weekend is not going to be abundant with sunshine. We haven't had as much rain this wet season as we might have otherwise had in the past. Of course, I left the sound on. Now, we are talking about Thai food today. Quite a few different aspects about Thai food. And I want at the outset to say that one of the reasons I think a lot of us move to Thailand or visit Thailand is for the authentic Thai food. In our home countries, we have our local Thai restaurants. When I was younger, it used to be the local Chinese restaurant. These days, it usually is the local Thai restaurant and people have as a go-to takeaway. Back in the days when we had the Chinese restaurant in town, as I've said many times, it was called the Fuck You. Cleverly spelt, and I think the Chinese owners were having a bit of a snigger at our expense. Anyway, my mother used to go down on Friday nights, every Friday night, and she'd take the pots and pans, and we'd get the Mongolian beef, the lemon chicken, the special fried rice, and they'd put it in our pots and we'd take them home and we'd have a great big sort of gourmet Chinese food, or so we thought. We thought we were being very exotic. These are the days where having things like chicken or pasta were quite exotic. I'm talking about the 60s in Australia. But then, of course, Thai food came along and we started being exposed to a lot more Thai food. We started to really enjoy Thai food, and I think it's become a bit of a go-to for people looking for something a little bit different from what they perhaps eat most of the week. The problem with Thai food is, I think, is that it looks very healthy. I mean, you've got the bright, shiny vegetables and the bright, shiny meat. And it's bright and shiny for a reason, mostly because it's been fried, but usually fried quite quickly. So, I mean, I think there are a lot of good things about Thai food, and there's good Thai food and bad Thai food. But I thought we'd just dig a little bit deeper than just saying all Thai food is fantastic, and dig a little bit deeper today and have a talk about what is seen in the year 2024 as good food around the world, and compare that to Thailand as well. Of course, we've got all your comments. Scott actually started asking, for some reason, Scott, your question has disappeared, but I remember what it was because there it is. I've seen it. It vanished for a moment. So I'll get to that a little bit later, Scott, and we'll get to as many of your comments and questions as we can. But one thing I think when you talk about Thai food is that so many YouTubers and vloggers have, either made a living or certainly had an attempt at doing a food video. I'm trying to think if I've actually fallen down that particular rabbit hole. I don't think I've actually... The only videos I've made about food, I think I made one about Vegemite, doing a taste test. I did it at the Tiger, and then I did it with Steve. A bit of a go-to if you're an Australian. Here, try this. Ugh, they all hate it. But I don't think I've actually sort of made any particular videos about Thai food off the top of my head. I think over the years in Thailand, I'm up to about 3,500 videos, so I'm not really exactly sure what I've done on every single one of them. Anyway, Thai food. Let's go to a list. Let's start with a list of the top 10 Thai foods. Now, if you type in top 10 Thailand foods, there are hundreds of lists, and there's a lot of different publications that have done top 10 Thai foods, because it's the sort of thing that people are likely to type into the search engine. So, of course, the other publications, not only just the food writers and the food blogs, but also just any news publications are going to do the top 10 Thai foods, because it is going to register in the list on Google. So I found a list, and I think it's pretty generic. I mean, this is always going to be the problem of finding a list that is sort of generic enough to cover most of the popular foods. I will be interested later to also hear about your favourite Thai food, where you go. I mean, there's always that moment. It might be a Friday night. Oh, I can't cook. I'm going out to my ... favourite Thai food place. This is a list from a publication called Siamese. Now, it's sort of written there as a palindrome. I don't know much about this publication. They're actually from the UK, Siamese, siamese.co.uk. The top most popular Thai dishes to try. And as said, most Thai foods got zesty, zingy flavours such as lemongrass, chilli, lime and mint. Herby, fresh aromatics such as lemon, basil, parsley and dill. Of course, the elephant in the room when you're talking about Thai food is spice. And everybody has a different limit on spice. Over the years, I was coming to Thailand, and when I was living in Thailand for a time in the early 2000s, I was living here for about a year before heading back to Australia and then coming back a decade later to settle here. But I was actually building up, as I was living right in the middle, in the heart of Bangkok, building up quite a good tolerance to spices. And I think sort of if there's a grade from 1 to 10, I might have been getting to about even a 3 or a 4. Now, 10 would put most people in hospital, but I was getting up there. Then I had a very bad bout of a thing called shingles. And the shingles attacked, out of other things, my vocal cords. I lost my voice for 3 or 4 months. I'm sure a lot of you would think that's a good thing. And I also lost all my taste. As I slowly got my taste back, one of the things that I had lost forever was my tolerance to spicy food, which is a great shame, especially since I came to settle and live in Thailand. But also, it attacked the taste of chocolate. I could eat chocolate, but it tasted like I was eating metal. Had a metallic taste. That hasn't completely gone, although whether or not my brain has sort of just rewired itself, and I've sort of found my taste buds again. It took a few years to recover. But yeah, since then, that bout of shingles, I've certainly lost my tolerance to spice. But let's see what this website is saying are the top 10 Thai dishes. I think it's pretty comprehensive. Click this button, Tim. The ubiquitous Pad Thai, who has my favourite, my go-to. There's good ones and bad ones. Hot and sour shrimp soup, the tom yum goong. A lot of people have this. It can be spicy or not spicy. Yellow curry, and we go through the different curries here. The yellow curry, and then we've got the red curry. And then we've got what can be the spiciest, of course, the green curry. And I really enjoy a good green curry, chicken green curry, although I order it my pet. Thai coconut curry noodle soup, khao soi, really, really popular dish. I do love a good khao soi. Again, I order it my pet. And with a lot of Thai food, you can sort of wind up the spice or wind it back. If you go into a Thai restaurant and you say, my pet, it could be spicy or not spicy. If you want to be absolutely sure that there's no spice in there, my sai prick, no chili. I've learned to say all these as probably the most important things, because nothing worse than saying, oh, my pet, and then it comes out and it's like just seething with red oil and your eyes are just burning looking at the food, and you know, oh, I won't be able to eat that. Let's check their other go-to top 10s. At number 7, they've got Khao Pad, which is, Khao Pad Gai, probably the most popular, Thai fried rice. And if they all looked like that with lots of vegetables, I think I would be more inclined to eat them. A lot of the times they are quite fatty. They're just like a fried rice with a bit of chicken thrown in. Well, I think it's chicken. I'm not ever quite sure. And then we've got the stir-fried Thai basil and pork, the krapao mu, which is very popular with a lot of Thais. And a lot of foreigners like it as well. Can be spicy or not spicy. Do you have it with an egg or without an egg? Number 9, and I've seen a friend go to hospital eating this, lab. Now, lab can be very, very spicy or not too spicy. I enjoy at least once a week. I'll have a lab guy, a chicken lab, but I have found a place that knows that I just like a very little bit of spice, but I do enjoy a lab. And out of all the different Thai foods, I think that one is reasonably healthy. And then their number 10 is mango sticky rice. Now, I'm a bit controversial when it comes to mango sticky rice. I'll order it from time to time. I'll eat the mango because I love mango. When a mango is good, it's fantastic. Sticky rice to me is like eating cardboard. So I'll leave the sticky rice, but I'll enjoy the mango. So, yeah, that's what they call the top 10 Thai dishes. And I think it covers quite a range of the more popular dishes. And I'm pretty sure you would have tried just about all of those if you've come to Thailand. So the next thing, I'll get my notes out here, is out of all the vloggers that have been making videos about Thai food, one particular vlogger has not only made a career out of it, but become very wealthy, and that's Mark Wiens. Now, if you don't know Mark's work, well, you haven't really been on YouTube for long. He's pretty hard to miss. Let's go to find Mark. Where have I got him? I've got him. Hang on, stand by. Here we go. Here, Mark. There we go. So Mark Wiens is a YouTuber. He's 38 years old, been living in Thailand permanently since 2016, got a Thai wife, originally from the US. And he's made a living and, well, become very wealthy, not only by making videos on YouTube, but he also travels around the world. And I think he's done some work with the BBC, with CNN on their various channels. And he's, well, made a living out of talking about food, and he's become a food vlogger. Now, Mark, through his food vlogging, has done just a little bit better than me on YouTube. I think I'm up to 38,000 subscribers. Mark, he's done just a little bit better. 10.8 million. So there's money to be made on the back of Thai food. And Mark Wiens is one person who has done very, very well. So we're interested to know if you have your favourite vloggers, people who talk about Thai food. Just about every vlogger who comes to Thailand, especially the newbies, well, it's their go-to video. Oh, the top 10 pad thais in Bangkok, followed up by their second video, which is usually the top 10 hamburgers for some reason. So, yeah, people have made plenty of money out of making food videos about Thai food. I was also going to ask you, what is special about Thai food? Why does Thai food evoke so many thoughts and emotions? When you talk about Thai food to your friends in your home country, they all would have tried it, and most like it, especially the dulled down Western dishes, which are usually much bigger serves than you'd get in Thailand, and usually a lot of the spice taken out of them, a lot of that freshness that we like in Thai food. So there are great cuisines around the world. I mean, French food, Italian food, Chinese food, of course. Now, up there is also Thai food. It is one of the great cuisines. And it is a little bit unique when you sort of compare it to other Asian foods. if I look at Malaysian food, Indonesian food, I'm going to have one or two favourites in those cuisines. Beef rendang. Oh, I love that. Then you go to Vietnamese food. Probably mainly different because it's in many cases not quite as spicy as Thai food. Lao food very similar. Myanmar food starting to sort of get a bit of the influence from India and neighbouring Bangladesh, so it can be very curry sort of based. And again, usually not as spicy as Thai food. Thai food is sort of uniquely, almost always got some curry spice in it. And they've always got the condiments when you go to a Thai food restaurant, and so you can always add more spice, more a chili. Sorry, got cats and dogs walking around me here, and they're cutting, if you can hear in the background, they're cutting the lawn next door with the whipper-snipper. No one uses lawnmowers here in Thailand for some reason. Anyway, I digress. So, we'll get to your comments on Thai food in just a moment. We'll start now, because I think what you have to say about Thai food is as relevant as anything that I have to say. I'll get to some of the potential dangers in Thai food a little bit later, but let's have a look at what you're saying about Thai food. Sort of have to dig around like this to get to the computer. How can I do this easier? I could do it like that. There we are. That doesn't look quite as awkward. Scott, I will get to your question a little bit later, which isn't food related, but an interesting question nonetheless. Truth about Thai food. Yummy, says Pad Thai. There you go. Scott D, one of my favourite eating spots is Foodland, Soy 5, for the delicious wonton soup with sweet pork. I do like a good wonton soup. I'm thinking a wonton soup is probably more Chinese inspired, but yes, do like my wonton soup. Nothing fancy, but a delicious meal. Reasonable prices, awesome atmosphere, and 25 years worth of memories. Well done. Nong Wo So says he likes papaya salad. A lot of people do as well. The other thing about Thai food, when you're living in Thailand, is you can get a good Thai meal. Let's just say a pad Thai for simplicity. And you can pay 40 or 50 baht for it on the street. Just about anywhere, including here in Thai Muang, you can get a 50 baht pad Thai. You can go to an expensive restaurant with nice chairs and waiters wearing crisp iron shirts, some of them even speaking English. Oh, very fancy indeed. And you can get it paired with a white wine or something like that. And you'll pay 400 or 500 baht for what is essentially exactly the same meal. And that's one thing I found with Thai food, is that the food they serve out on the streets and the food they serve in the fancy restaurants is almost exactly the same, but the price can vary from 100% down to 10% of that price at the street stalls. I used to really enjoy eating at the street stalls in Bangkok when I was living there. Probably at least once a day I would be eating street food. We'd had our favourite go-tos. You sit on the little cheap stool and they come out and take your order. There's usually 3 or 4 things they make that are really good that you like, and you just cycle your way through your favourites. But then I've also eaten at some very, very fancy Thai food restaurants. I think the main difference is the ingredients are usually of slightly better quality. But regarding the actual final taste, I think they all taste universally good. So interested in your comments on that one as well. Okay, what else? We've got people, Luke Manton, morning from Sydney. My daughter makes a mean meal, says Nong Wo So. I don't know the name of it, but it's lard and chili garlic with eggs. Okay, there you go. Perhaps predictable, but my favourite Thai dish is pad krapao with 2 eggs on top. Scott, it's a bit greedy. and extremely spicy. A lot of people do add a lot of spice to their pad kra pao. Gail says, my favourite food is green curry. Hello, all from the Windy City. So, chicken green curry, or do you have a vegetarian green curry? That's what I tend to have these days when I have green curry. Guzzy Jack says, oh, Guzzy, I've just lost your... says this flips around sometimes. It makes it a little bit difficult. Hi, Tim and others. I'm a Kiwi watching from Sweden, says Paul Calkin. Okay, any good Thai restaurants in Sweden? Comment from FJ. Been living here for 33 years. Eat Thai food almost exclusively. The occasional pizza, but I have my favourites. Chicken with cashew nuts, always a good go-to. Spicy corn somtam, pad kra pao, of course. Okay, how often do you eat Thai food each day? Do you live here? Or when you're visiting here? But if you're living here, would be interested to know. I would eat Thai food generally every lunch, every dinner. Maybe one dinner, like last night, a week, I'll go to a restaurant of a different flavour and have something there. I don't do Thai breakfasts. Thais don't generally have special foods for breakfast. In the West, we have our mueslis and cereals and yogurts and fresh fruit, or a cooked meal, toast, eggs, bacon, baked beans, whatever. So we've got the cooked meal and the sort of the cold cereals and things, and that makes up most of our breakfast. So I do have a Western breakfast that I usually make myself each day. That is sort of it. The rest of the day I'll eat Thai food. How about you? Theo, not everything gets fried. There are so many curries and soups, they don't use MSG in those recipes either. Now, that's interesting, Thai Theo. We'll talk about what's in a lot of Thai food. MSG, controversial, not for me, but for some people. I think you'll find MSG in a lot of Thai food, even the curries. It's one of those things that if you particularly don't want MSG, you have to make a request to the chef, probably usually ignored. Okay, I absolutely hate lemongrass, says Scarface. I don't like lemongrass by itself, like, you know, when they make the lemongrass drink. But I don't mind it as a flavour. Again, it's just one of the many, many unique flavours in Thai food. Richard Woolley says, I lost my tolerance for spicy food in my 40s and would probably die if I tried a green curry nowadays. Well, just ask for it with no spice. Scott D, these pictures are making me hungry for Thai food. Eileen Morris Duke, hi Eileen. I can handle Bangkok level hot. Going further south, it's past my threshold, says Eileen. Yes, down in the south, the Thai food can get very, very spicy. That includes some restaurants in Phuket. So, yeah, that's another unique thing about Thailand food, is that the Thai food in the south is different from the Thai food in Bangkok, is different from the Thai food in the north and out in Isan to the east and the northeast. So, yeah, Thai food can be quite regional. There are regional favourites, but a lot of those different regional flavours can be found in different places as well. I'm just going to have a quick sip of the coffee. Eileen, good luck with your southern Thai food. Graham says a dish that needs chilli needs chilli. My side prick and the dish no longer is what it's meant to be. That's a good point, Graham. But I mean, I like the other flavours in some of these Thai meals. And at the end of the day, I'm not a gourmet chef. I'm not rating it for a Michelin restaurant. I'm just rating it as what I can eat and what I like. And if you want it authentic and with lots of chili and you can cope with it, well, thumbs up for you. But for me, most of the time these days, I just can't cope with it. But I don't want to stop having or enjoying some of the great Thai food, which usually has spice. I'll just ask for a lot less of the spice in it which I can cope with. Krapau must have the fried egg, says James. Okay, there you go. Tai Tio, it also depends a lot on buying it from a restaurant, street stall, or that it's been made at home. I love Tom Kha Gai soup, says Guzzy Jack. Annie Pima, what about MSG, used so commonly, makes me really ill? Annie, I've probably told this story. I know I've told this story before. I used to work on an Australian radio program in Melbourne. And one day we used to sort of do some different tests. We did a test for smell radio once. Another time we did a test on MSG. Because, I don't know, this would have been the early 80s. It sort of had become part of the vernacular that MSG was bad, and that you needed to root out MSG anywhere you could find it. Now, without going into the history of MSG, and without really making any particular editorial comment on it, I'll just share the story with you. So we got 8 people who we'd invited into the studio. We had a sort of Studio 2, which we used. It was a lot larger, and we had it set up with a dining table. And we got the media in with the cameras and stuff, and these people were all sensitive to MSG. And we had 2 doctors there. We had a lovely nurse who did take a lot of the doctor's attention for most of the time anyway. So what we did is we said, okay, 4 of you are going to be eating food with MSG. There's not that much MSG, but there's MSG in there. We want you to know because, and we've got doctors here, so we just want to know what your reaction is. And then the other people, we said, your food doesn't have MSG in it. But what we did is we actually had swapped the food around. So the people who didn't think they were having MSG were actually the ones who were eating the MSG, and vice versa. And strangely, all 4 people who were given the food with MSG, which didn't have any MSG in it, all had heart palpitations and reactions, and all felt a bit flustered and feverish, but none of them had had any MSG at all. And the other meals which contained MSG, but the people were told that there was no MSG in it, they felt fine, even though they had consumed meals with MSG. So, I mean, sometimes I think MSG, it probably has a reaction with some people. In some cases, a reaction that is unpleasant and that people want to avoid. But I think generally most people are not going to get any reaction from MSG. The entire nation of Japan would not exist if there was a problem with MSG, because there's a lot of MSG in Japanese food. But my feelings after that particular experiment, and speaking to doctors in the latter years, were saying, well, look, a lot of people, there's a placebo effect, as there is with most medications. There is a placebo effect. If you think you're eating food with MSG, you're more inclined to get a reaction to it. That's just the way that I've seen it over the years. I will be interested in your comments. Indeed, Annie Pima says MSG makes him or her, I'm sorry, I don't know. I can't see the photo of you. Anyway, it makes you feel ill. Agree with you on mango sticky rice, says Teddy Bear. Okay, my wife makes a huge container of sticky rice every morning, says Nongwa. So, you can keep the sticky rice. When it comes to rice, I mean, Asians do take it very, very seriously. Me, rice is rice is rice. I know, I'm common as muck. But Asians, they go, oh, this rice is particularly good. It was sort of like a lot of Westerners, pretentious Westerners drink wine. This has come from the hills of the I don't know, Appalachian Mountains or something. I've been to so many wine tastings over the years. I've seen so much bullshit. I cannot tell you. The future factory, another perhaps even bigger elephant, is sugar. Thailand has rapidly increasing number of people with diabetes. With that and the introduction of Western fast food, it's a problem. Well, the future factory, of course, is not only the sugar, it's the large amount of carbohydrates. We are going to get to the health side of Thai food in just a moment. Just whipping through these as quickly as I can. Good morning from Curitiba in Brazil. My days trying to get into Brazil and they wouldn't let me. Mark Robert, Bangkok. Mark Weens also has a Pad Kapau restaurant in Ekamai. He certainly does. And Tong Law, call Ped Mark. Always a long queue of tourists outside his outlet near Ekamai BTS. Yes, I should have mentioned that he and four other sort of well-known people, an Iron Chef, sort of a famous Thai chef. There's four of them who put together these Pad Krapao restaurants. My wife opened Australia's first Thai restaurant, here we go, in 1977. This is a bit of history. Uncle Bob L. in St Kilda Road. Coincidentally, SBS Thai published a podcast interview 2 days ago. Well, that's very interesting. Australia's first Thai restaurant in 1977. There would be 20,000 Thai restaurants in Australia now. Okay, so I just want to make sure I haven't missed any super chats. Just having a quick whip through. Don't want to miss any of those. Okay, let's get into some other aspects. Comment. John Armstrong. Hello, John. In Lampang, I have never seen anything but sticky rice. So you get sticky rice with your Thai main meal, with your... Okay, that's interesting. I usually imagine that most sticky rice comes with the desserts. Thai desserts, that deserves a special segment. Let's have a talk about some of the health problems or potential health problems with Thai food. Again, I went searching in the Google machine for something that was fairly generic and gave, I think, fairly reliable responses. This is from healthline.com, asking the question, is Thai food healthy? And Thai food is known for its emphasis on herbs and spices. What are those herbs and spices? Well, things like Thai ginger, Thai holy basil, turmeric, lemongrass, coconut milk, bean sprouts, chili peppers. There's a lot of different varieties of chili peppers, of course. Papaya, tofu, and there's seafood. So they're sort of largely the groups of the foods that are used to make Thai food. I think one of the things we see that makes us think that a lot of Thai food is healthy, that it's prepared daily and then it's cooked very quickly. I need to remind the chef that when I'm sitting there waiting for 20 minutes. But anyway, and then it will come out. When it's cooked, it will come out. They don't wait until they've got the whole table all done. They will bring it out as it's cooked, which annoys some Westerners, but it sort of makes sense if you think about it. So some of the health issues, eating too many refined carbs, such as white rice and noodles, has been linked to weight gain and a high risk of type 2 diabetes. Consumption of fried foods might lead to an increased risk of heart disease, high blood pressure and certain cancers. Fried food also tends to be high in sodium or salt. Finally, some Thai foods contain added sugar. I think over the years, if you were to compare the average Thai meal in 2024 to the average Thai meal, say, back in 1970 or even earlier, there would be a lot more salt and sugar and probably MSG in it. Thai food generally is very flavoursome, very strong in flavours, such that when you have that first mouthful, it's like zing! So many different flavours reaching into different parts of your body. It makes it sound so erotic. And it can be very overwhelming, all those different flavours all at once. But that's sort of Thai food in one sentence, isn't it? all those different flavors all hitting you at one time. But yeah, I think these days they're sort of amplifying a lot of the flavors with sugars and salts and, well, MSG to an extent. So here are the more healthy Thai foods according to healthline.com. Spring rolls, obviously not fried, papaya salad, tom yum soup, chicken larb, steamed fish and veggies, beef and broccoli. Oh, I do love that. Red, green and massaman curry. Again, you could serve these with a lot of sugar and a lot of salt and fried within an inch of their life. But generally, these are seen to be some of the more healthy Thai foods. Interestingly, they've got pad Thai, which I think in its purest form would be a very healthy Thai meal. I've had some pad Thais, though, over the years, which are just like a clump of fried noodles with a few vegetables sprinkled on top, which perhaps isn't as palatable as a really fresh, quickly cooked pad Thai. The bottom line from healthline.com, overall, traditional Thai cuisine is made with healthful ingredients that may provide a variety of benefits. So if you look at the ingredients list on what you're eating with Thai food, yeah, usually there's vegetables and there's protein and a few carbs in the rice or the noodles. It comes down to the chef, how it's cooked, how quickly it's cooked. I think also, I suspect, if they see a Westerner sitting in the restaurant, they will dumb down the spiciness and they may add, I don't know, maybe unconsciously, a little bit of extra sugar and salt, thinking that appeals to our tastes. When a lot of us, we do like to have authentic Thai food. I mean, we do live in Thailand. And to choose a healthy Thai meal, opt for a dish that's loaded with plant foods, contains a protein source, and features a variety of herbs and spices. Sounds like Kentucky Fried Chicken. So, yeah, that's what they're saying about Thai food. So let's go to some more of your comments and see what... okay, Alpha Bravo making the statement that MSG makes you eat more. That's proven. I don't know if that's proven, but MSG, there's been so many studies done with MSG, and the more studies they do, it sort of seems the less obvious the outcomes are. I think it's much more nuanced and much more in tune with individuals and how some individuals react. Werner B, the problem with MSG is that your stomach feels uncomfortably bloated. Again, I'm suggesting that might be a reaction that you're having with MSG, but not everyone gets a bloated stomach with MSG. Gail Foz-CK, I love green curry with chicken and Penang curry with beef. Great combos. Now, a Penang curry, a very southern part of Thai food, in Penang is in Malaysia. You can get a great Penang curry, strangely enough, in Penang as well. Yes, I do like a good Penang curry as well, without too much spice. A comment from John Armstrong. I think we've already done yours. Okay, what else we got here? My comments have stopped. How can I my comments have stopped for some reason. I'm sure you're all still there. Okay, what can I do here? I might have to carry on and just talk because your comments, more comments coming through. No, what am I doing wrong here? Oh well, hang on, I think I can do this. Oh, Tim, be very careful doing this. Let's see what happens. I'm hoping this is going to... all right, did that make any difference? It made absolutely no difference at all. Sorry, folks, I just got a bit of a problem with my comments. I'm going to turn the comments off there. Just talk amongst yourselves. You tell us what is your favourite Thai food. Sorry. You're all tuning out now. You're all going to find something else. Click on pop out chats and we'll move that over there. And I think we should be fixed now. as we go there. Huge apologies, everybody, for this interruption. There's only me here, and not much the cats and dogs can do about it. Senny Ann says Penang curry is a transition from Penang, a transliteration, Penang. Yeah, I've seen Penang curry spelled as P-A-N-A-N-G or P-E-N-A-N-G as the island of Penang. Please hit the like button to feed the algorithm. Thank you very much. I know a lot of expats that don't eat any Thai food and have never tasted any except pad Thai. I don't know why you would come and live in Thailand if you didn't like Thai food. When people say, why do you live in Thailand? And I always mention that there's 100 little annoyances. But the big things like cost of living, general lifestyle, culture, climate, food, they're always tick, 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 tick. So if you don't like Thai food, why bother living in Thailand? For me, MSG seems to be a diuretic, says Ralph Lewis. I think I can say that I've never really noticed any reaction to MSG at all. I mean, there was a time when I was sort of had a very heightened sense of what I thought MSG may do to me from all the media coverage. But the more I learnt about it and the more I read and the more I sort of spoke to other people, the more I realised the reactions were quite personal and sometimes, as I said, were based on quite a strong placebo effect. John Armstrong makes the comment, yes, my friend's family will take a thermos of sticky rice with them when they travel to another city. At home, on the road, they take a ball of sticky rice and use it to pick up the rest. Okay. I get it. That works. AU Dave from Australia, I'm assuming, outside Thailand, restaurants put coriander and chili in every dish. They think this is Thai and what people expect. In Thailand, you can ask for less chili and the coriander is generally a garnish. Good point. I know plenty of people who just don't like the taste of coriander and ask their food to be prepared without it. But I think you're right. It does tend to be used as a garnish along with parsley. The water plants can contain liver fluke eggs. I've missed the context of that. Thank you, Alpha Bravo. Yes, my wife. Werner B. Thank you very much. Thank you, I think. Graham Reed, it's the pa la fermented fish that may or may not have liver flukes in it. Yes, this fermented fish, very popular in parts of Thailand, can be quite dangerous. There have been some cases of people dying from it. It's not that particularly common these days. People are more aware of it, but it's something that people still talk about. Thailand travel and jazz. Good combination. Question, do Thais use palm oil still? Apart from the issues of vegetation destruction, it's a heart stopper. Just wondering if they have been educated on healthier oils. This, I think, is an interesting question. It probably harks back to what actually is in your Thai food. When I have Thai food with anything with like chicken in it, the sort of lumps of white stuff that they're calling chicken, I'm not really sure if it's actually chicken. And it comes with the oils. I mean, a good oil will make or break a food. If the oil's not fresh, you can certainly taste it. And it can sort of taste quite stale. An oil that's been recirculated and used many, many times over. I think there's still quite a lot of palm oil used in Thailand, not only in food, but in other products. Where was I driving the other day? Up to Khao Sok, a Khao Sok, beautiful area in Suratani province. I think it's in Suratani, yes. And you can stay in cabins on the lakes there. Just a very, very, very beautiful, perhaps not that well-known part of Thailand. Hour and a half from Tai Muang, from the beach here. And along the way, I did see quite a few palm plantations. So it looks like there's still plenty of palm oil being produced. Again, it's one of those products that seems to have had a lot of negative. People are not going to sit down and write a story saying palm oil is quite a nice product and a lot of people use it, and it's used in a lot of different products and not only cooking. No one's going to read that. But if they say things like palm oil is going to kill you, people are going to read that. So I think palm oil went through its sort of synthesis about 10 years ago, and plenty was written about it at the time. Over my 65 years on this planet, I've seen just about every food demonised, and then, it's not quite so bad, we find out years later. Things like potatoes. There was a time, I don't know, in the 70s where potatoes were just the end of the world, and they were going to make you fat and they were going to kill you, and don't touch potatoes. 10 years later, potatoes are a good carbohydrate, have them in moderation with just a little bit of butter on them. Cholesterol used to be, it's going to kill you. And now there's good cholesterols and bad cholesterols, and doctors don't really talk about cholesterol much anymore. So I've seen it all. Bacon. Bacon, I think, is still generally not particularly good for you in large quantities, but I don't mind the odd sliver of bacon. And again, there's a lot of good and bad food, and sometimes I'll go out and I'll enjoy some what people would call a bad food. Last night I went out and I had a pizza. I felt like pizza. So did number one. So we went and had pizza. But we have to drive half an hour to get a good pizza. Up in Khao I can highly recommend Little Italy. Like what it says on the can. Authentic, generally authentic Italian food. Excellent pizzas. Not many good pizzas around here. Okay, so I've also got a super chat that's just come in. So let's say hello to Andrea R. Hi Tim, off topic, any news about your second channel? Andrea R, thank you very much. And maybe what I'm doing today is a bit of a sneak peek. And what I've been doing on the Saturday programs over the past month or so is sort of basically doing a topic each day. On the other channel, they're going to be more research. They're going to be much shorter and much better produced. The channel's called Alive and Kicking. I said I'd launch it after I finish, and I'm pointing towards the 2 new beach houses. Links in the description. And I will start to launch that channel in the next month. I'm just holding off because there's just so many things going on at the moment, a few changes in my professional life, so I am just holding off a little bit. Because once you start a channel, you've got to feed it, and you've got to make sure you've got videos turning up all the time. But it will be much more broad in its topic, not just about Thailand. Thank you very much for your generosity. Hope that answers your question. Alpha Bravo, best sweet chili chicken sauce comes from Thailand, exported worldwide. Now, something they actually export here from Thailand. This time of the year, there's about 5 weeks every year when they convert their fishing boats into these giant scoops, and they scoop up this krill, tiny little creatures. And then they bring them ashore in their nets, and they put them out, and they dry them, essentially killing them. And then they put this, it sort of ends up with this red, dried up goo, and they put it into plastic bottles. I've got some in the fridge. I bought some from the local people just because I wanted to be seen to be, I'll never ever use it. Very, very pungent, and apparently highly prized in some of the better Bangkok restaurants. This sort of krill paste from Tham Luang Beach. There you go. Only lasts for about 5 months when the krill are running. Then they convert their boats back into sort of lobsters and whatever else they catch. Evil Twin from CA, from Canada. Thank you very much. Agree and disagree with you every day. Keep the shirts coming. Great show. I love if you... Don't watch me if you just want to agree with me. Disagree with me from time to time. All I ask is that you just sort of don't make it personal. Stick to the issues. Argue the issues. Don't argue the person. Trevor Cunningham, my go-to anywhere in the world is usually Japanese, but do like the odd massaman chicken and also stir-fried vegetables, chicken, onion and cashew nuts. I've got a story about Japanese food. I've been to Japan, 3 times now. I do enjoy Japanese food, which is just as well, because it's quite hard to find anything except Japanese food in Japan. Not like in Thailand, where it's probably a bit easier to find the odd bit of international food. I'll tell my sushi story one day. It's rather long. A Thai that is not eating is thinking what could be next. Oh, that's what I've always said. When Thai people are sitting down eating, they're usually talking about where they're going to be eating for their next meal. Thai people never eat alone. They always eat in groups. It's always where they get all their gossip, and they are always talking about food. It is a national pastime. I recognise that. I understand it, and great. Pad Thai, love that colourful shirt. Just like your beautiful life you are living, Kun Tim. Well, thank you very much. I think I'm living a pretty good life. This one is from, From Temu, shoptemu.com. I'm not promoting any, I've talked about Lazada enough in the past. Both Lazada and Shop Temu is where I get all my clothes these days. Why go to a clothes shop? I mean, you do have to be careful with the sizes, but once you're happy that you know the sizes you wear. For example, in Australia, I'd be an M. Here in Thailand, I'm an XL. Go figure. I think the key, everything in moderation, says Key J. A line out of the movie Lost Horizon, when the head of the, what do they call them? The head of the monastery up in the Himalayas in Shangri-La. Well, he's a shaman or a head monk. I can't remember what he was called in the movie. But the piece of wisdom he gave to the Westerners was everything in moderation. My father used to say that quite often as well, because I used to tend to be quite excessive when I was young. I'm sure you don't believe me. Jamie, make sure to get a microwave in your hotel in Pattaya if you pick up street food on your way back after a heavy night. Give it a quick blast. Give it a quick blast to reheat it, or give it a quick blast to perhaps kill some of the bugs. I have to say, universally, I've never had any great problem with the quality of the sanitation of Thai food. I've mentioned this before. The only 2 times in Thailand over 13 years I've had food poisoning. That in both cases it was a pizza that gave me the food poisoning. So I've never personally had any problems with Thai food. If you get a bad bit of seafood, I think that you're going to remember that for a few days. But generally, I've had no problems with the sanitation of Thai food, either on the street or in restaurants. Has anybody ever seen sausages in Denmark? Totally pink. Crazy, says Alpha Bravo. I haven't experienced that. Everything in moderation, including moderation, says Darren M. Okay, a few more super chats I need to acknowledge. Parky Pete, great content, and thank you very much for your support and your donation to the cause. Andrea, we've done that one. I hate missing the super chats. Scott D, although it's not Thai food, enjoy a scoop of chocolate ice cream for dessert. Greetings from the Windy City. We're enjoying a beautiful autumn. Scott D, maybe you agree with me, but Thais do amazing food. As I mentioned earlier, one of the great cuisines in the world. I'm not sure about the desserts. Mango sticky rice stands out for me because it's got the mango in it. Sticky rice to the side, but all those desserts with the balls of jelly and black jelly, oh my goodness. I can't look at them The West, I'm sorry, Thailand does much better desserts. I mean, give me an apple pie and cream, or as Scott says, a scoop of chocolate ice cream any day of the week. But the Thais love their desserts. I just don't think that they're going to export to the rest of the world in quite the same fervour as their main meals. What are other things? They sort of the fried banana. Banana pancakes I love on the street. I don't think they're terribly good for you, but they taste amazing. But yeah, fried banana and ice cream, that can be pretty nice as well. Why did nature give us glutamate receptors on our tongues? Asks Alpha Bravo. Hey, Tim, I spent 6 months a year in Thailand. However, sticky rice is not my thing. Simple steamed rice is the way for me. Darren M, MSG is flavour elevating powder. Elevates umami. Well, that's right. It's sort of seen as, in sort of cooking in a lot of Asian countries, as an essential part of the armoury that you have to alter the taste of some of the food. Motus Stylo question, am I the only one surprised to learn that eggs can be stored without refrigeration? I've always put my eggs in the fridge. I'm not sure why. Maybe they don't need it. Okay, so I think we've done most of the comments today. Scott D had an interesting question. Beware of fast food cheese in Thailand. Yeah, Thais don't do cheese particularly well. Andrew Billany, no issues with the food when I've been in Thailand, but what about all the oils that are used in the process? Yeah, I think, there's good oils and bad oils. Too much oil generally is not going to be good for you. I do worry about the oils that they're cooking my food in sometime. I would prefer they would always use less oil, but again, you see what they're putting in if they're cooking the food in front of you. Maybe ask them, is the oil fresh? They'll say yes, even if it's not. Phang Puppy, the level of food hygiene in restaurants can be very poor. The staff will have no food hygiene training and the restaurant will have no certification or even an inspection as they are in the West. Phang Puppy, I think you're just sort of dragging your Western values here to Thailand, because whilst there may be little checking, whilst there may be little or no certification or hygiene training, generally Thais are brought up with hygiene in mind and they're quite careful about it. If hygiene was a problem in Thailand, we'd be reading a lot more about people getting food poisoning. It is not something that I see in the headlines often, or even in the odd forums, the very few that I bother to read these days. So I think you're just using your sort of Western sensibilities about food hygiene here in Thailand, which I generally have to say I found to be very high. That's just my thought, but thanks for your comment. Looks like that shirt was inspired by the album cover of True Colours by Split Enz. I've got that album. Well, not now, but I used to have it. I used to love that album. True Colours by Split Enz, YouTube it. Can you say hi to Kevin in Samui? I'm recruiting viewers. Evil Twin says, can you say hi to Kevin? Hi, Kevin. Done that. What about the frogs my wife catches out in the cane fields? What about them? Love that colourful shirt, says Pad Thai. Okay, now Scott D, we'll sort of stop talking about food for 5 minutes now. Done all the super chats, I hope so. I don't want to miss anybody. Not sure about the one from Werner B. Great for brown fried chicken KFC, eat your heart out. Yes, great topic, Tim. Thank you for your time. Okay, so Scott D asked me a question at the top of the program. Oh, Scott's disappeared again. My goodness, how do I get it back? Okay, Scott asked me, he says, I know you're very busy, but do you have any favourite YouTube channels that you go to? Well, the answer is sort of yes and no. Generally, the way I watch YouTube these days is, of course, YouTube does recommend. As soon as you open it up, it's going to give you a screen of some 6 different videos that it's recommending that you can watch, that you can then scroll down and see other recommendations based on your past searches, based on an algorithm they build around you and your personality and your viewing habits. And if you start watching more of this sort of video, more of that sort of video will be recommended to you in the future. This is just the way that YouTube works because it wants you to keep watching. So it keeps sending you videos that it thinks you want to watch. Politically, that's a problem because it's only going to be keeping on serving you videos of a political nature that may appeal to you. You're not going to get much from the other side. So I do, particularly when it comes to politics, tend to go and search what I want to watch and the channels I want to watch rather than letting YouTube tell me what I should watch. Okay, so there's probably only 2 or 3 channels that I've gone to and watched every single video and then I've subscribed to them and look forward to when they make their next video. One would be, this might have a Thai link. His name is Peter Sipon, spelled Sripol. Now, Peter is he's American, but I suspect his father was from Thailand, or his grandfather, because he says his name is Sripol, but I'm thinking if he was in Thailand, his name would be Sipon. And, okay, enough of that. Peter is an engineer. And I just love his videos because what he does is he gets common domestic products and then converts them so that they'll fly. He's built his own planes. He's built the largest toy plane. He's built the largest foam plane. He goes to things like Oshkosh with some of his creations. He turns power drills into planes, lawnmowers into planes. A lot about planes, but he also does boats. And he said, okay, if you've got 2 engines on the back of the boat, what happens if you put 10 engines on the back of the boat? Will you go 5 times faster? Things like that. And so he's a young, energetic sort of engineer. And I just love the way that he does these experiments. And they're all quite random. The production has got better over the years, but I've really enjoyed, if I've got nothing better to do, to sit down and watch Peter Sipon, but it's Sripol. Enjoy some of his videos, especially when he built his own electric plane. There you go. Now, another one that I sort of subscribed to, and I've watched all of them, I scrolled back and watched all of them from the early days, is Star Talk with Neil deGrasse Tyson, astrophysicist, American astrophysicist, a fascinating guy, beautiful presentation, very easy voice to listen to. Also something I'll listen to his voice if I want to go to sleep quickly, can put me to sleep. But his knowledge and his the way he explains quite complicated things, I've really enjoyed watching Neil deGrasse Tyson on Star Talk. He doesn't always talk about astronomy, but usually he does. A fascinating guy. Now, there's 2 new vlogs that have come out over the past couple of years called The Rest is Politics. There's a US version and there's a UK version. The hosts of those podcasts, I think, are excellent, and they've got a world of experience, and I've enjoyed some of their content. Again, with all these podcasts, these independent podcasts, they're all going to be leaning to one political angle or another. And you've got to watch them with that in mind. Don't just because they're talking about this issue or that issue say, oh, I don't like that issue, or I don't agree with them. Well, that's not the way that I watch them. I watch them with that in mind and then still enjoy listening to what they have to say. So there's a UK and a US version of The Rest is Politics. I binged watched just about anything with Christopher Hitchens for years. I don't think he's actually got a channel. He died back in 2011. But one of the great thinkers of our generation, a great orator, great debater, a famous probably more so for his his talk about atheism over the years, but also a great writer. I've got 3 or 4 of his books. Christopher Hitchens, just a great English speaker and wordsmith. Thoroughly enjoyed Christopher Hitchens. Another vlog I watch every week, and these 2 young guys are definitely to the far left, but it's called Internet Today, and I find it, they're very amusing, apart from anything else. They've got a great repartee. It's a bit like, when I was lucky enough to find Steve Ross. We had a great repartee in the way that we could talk together. And these 2 guys got a great repartee, both smart guys, but very far left. And their names are Ricky and Elliot. That's their names. So there's some of the vlogs that are a bit of a go-to for me, and I'm sure you'll be telling me yours in a moment, and I'll do that in just a moment. We're sort of wrapping up. I also wanted to mention this. This is my razor. Why the hell am I talking about my razor? Well, my trusty razor, I've never used a blade, by the way, for, when did I start shaving? 15 or 16. I've always used an electric razor. I must have had many hundreds over the years. In Thailand, there's a problem with razors, particularly the humidity, and your old whiskers can sort of really gel. You need to keep your razor a bit cleaner than usual. There's Dina getting up on the roof. Hi, Dina. Nice of you to drop in. And this razor is fantastic. Now, I can't remember the name of it. It is a Mijia, Mijia. Can you see it there? There we go. No, it's not making it very easy. There we go. Mijia. Made in China. I bought it on Lazada. Took a bit of a chance because you're buying something, I don't know, it was about 150, 200 baht. And it's fantastic. This is by far the best razor I've ever had. And it even shows you the percentage of power. I've had this for about 3 weeks and I've still got 63% of the power in it. It's got 1 button on it, got 1 setting, but it's a fantastic razor. So every now and then you do find a bit of a gem on the internet, and mine is the Mijia electric razor for those people that use electric razors. I think that's about all I had to talk about today. We'll do some final comments because I'm sure you've got better things to do than sit around looking at me all day. So just a few final comments from you, the most important people, the viewer. Motor Stylo, I freaked out learning bird's nest is basically bird spit. Very expensive, and the Chinese tourists love it. There's 3 or 4 places here where they grow birds' nests. Here in Thailand, these huge, great big tall buildings which are empty inside, but they grow the birds' nests. Jamie, hi Tim, I was not questioning Pattaya street food, but they might turn the burner off, and if you're heading back at 6 a.m, the chicken may have been sitting for a while. Quick warm-up works well. I'm not sure if a couple of seconds in the microwave is going to kill the germs, but if it works for you, that's all that matters. Good luck. The Russian guy on the motorcycle who is hungry all the time. Sorry, Alpha Bravo, I'm not quite with you there. Prefer Gary Food Channel over Mark Ween's. Gary, I don't know Gary. Please hit the like button, says Pad Thai. Eileen Morris Duke, my favourite dessert is coconut ice cream. Yes. With jackfruit and roasted peanuts. Now there is some interesting taste all together. I don't mind a good coconut ice cream. I've got a recipe that I've tried a few times. By the way, through all this talk about food, I am the world's worst cook. Anybody who's eaten my food can attest to that. I am a shocking cook. I know what I like. I can cook a breakfast. I can put the toast in the bread in the toaster. I'm the world's worst cook. so I'm pretty good at eating out. I eat out just about all the time. Tim, my Thai wife cooks great Thai meals. Penang chicken is my favourite. This is from Thomas Wright. And I cook the steaks and mash and roast potatoes, and I get the best of both worlds. There you go. Look, a good roast is not difficult to prepare. I keep on saying, I think I want a Sunday roast. I've got a little oven. I can make a roast. I just don't. Comment from Wilco. Have always found the food at MK restaurants in Thailand good quality and not too expensive. Agreed. It's usually in shopping malls there, a mix of Thai and some foreign foods on the menu. MK restaurants. When I was living in Tonglaw for a time, I used to go to an MK restaurant each day for breakfast. They were quite good. Alpha Bravo says, looks like a Philips. It's definitely not a Philips. It's made in China. It's a mid-geo, as I said. And, it's got the same type of three. A lot of razors have got the three floating heads these days. Ratio female to male, maybe 20-1, says Pat Thai. Not sure what you're talking about. Okay. So Durian says it's a Xiaomi brand. Mijia is from the Chinese manufacturer Xiaomi, who have just released an amazing electric car. It's like Huawei, who I thought were a telephone maker. They're also now making cars. Talk about electric cars in the next couple of weeks because I'm looking again and it looks like I'll be buying a car soon because my situation has changed quite a lot. Okay, air fryer is the best purchase ever, says Pat Thai, except it doesn't fry the food. Why do they call it an air fryer? I think that's a mistake in their marketing. It's not an air fryer, it's just an air cooker. Thais love their shrimps, which we call prawns in Australia. Have you watched a hockey game, says Evil Twin. Yes, I have, and I have no understanding why that is relevant, but thanks for the question. Looks particularly violent to me. Our question is Philips sponsoring the show. It's not a Philips, it's made in China. It's a Mijia, not a Philips. Get over it. And that's about it. So we're sort of veering, something about Star Trek. He sounds like Star Trek episodes. Okay, comment. Thai chefs in Western countries complain that food standards are too high in Western country, says Smoke from Seven Orifices. All I can say is that in 13 years, I haven't had any problems with Thai food giving me food poisoning, and I hope that continues. With that, thank you for watching. Good general chat about Thai food. Watch what you're eating. Be careful what you're eating. Know your favourites. Get to know a few chefs in your local area. And always just be aware what may or may not be in your Thai food. But eat well, eat often, maybe 3 times a day. Thank you for watching. Have a great weekend. Mine's going to be a bit moist, and we'll see you on Monday.